Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it so much. I wanted to stop by and give you a quick weather update and talk a little bit of history and do a little bit of teaching about Beryl and hurricanes in general. Some cool stuff happening here with Hurricane Beryl and, of course, with the climate itself, but we'll get into that here in just a minute. So, first things first, let's talk about our quick 3 day quick cast here. Oh, what can I say? Hot, hot, and hot. For your Monday, sunny and hot. I mean, that's just flat out it. Sunny and hot. You're looking at highs somewhere between probably 93 and about 96 degrees. I'll say 95, which is will be fairly common around 95 degrees, and your heat index values could be as high as 99. Just depends on a little bit about how much sun we get and how much humidity we have. But somewhere around 99 for a heat index. That's going to be muggly hot. Yeah, muggly. That's a good word. So, definitely above normal. Right now, our normal is 87 degrees. That's where we should be, 87. But unfortunately, we are seeing more and more and more of these 90s creep in. And, looking ahead, maybe 7 to 10 days out, I'm seeing a lot of heat. I'm hoping that's wrong. It was wrong 2 weeks ago because we've been right at normal the last 4 or 5 days, and it said this was supposed to be really, really hot. So let's hope that those models are off just a little bit. So anyway, for Monday, sunny and hot, heat index 99 degrees. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of ice cold water. For your Tuesday, this is when we're going to start to see some moisture from Beryl work its way in. Not a ton of moisture with it because it's going to actually be up and off to our north and west, and I'll show you that on the map here in just a second. But there's enough out there, enough moisture to actually throw out a few thunderstorms. If you get under one, it's going to be heavy, but don't expect everybody to get under one. In fact, it's roughly only about a 30 to 40% chance to see anything on Tuesday. That goes up a little bit into Wednesday. And I'll show you that on the map. But for Tuesday, few storms around. Some of them could be on the strong side. And, Tuesday into Wednesday, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Anytime a remnant tropical system passes over the area, our tornado risk is not zero. Okay? So even though it's not that big of a deal, there's enough energy in the atmosphere to spit out some spinning winds. Nothing major because it's so weak at this point, but just keep a heads up. It's one of those things. If you hear the siren sound, take cover. Just saying. But the chance of it is very, 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 very low. Tuesday, 93. Again, that heat index is around 99 because the humidity is starting to crank up now. Low Tuesday night in the 70s. For Wednesday, showers and storms around. A little bit better temperatures around normal, around 86 degrees or so. And we will see some more moisture from Beryl. Again, not a ton of moisture to work with. Maybe out of this week, we might end up with a quarter to half an inch of rain. To be honest, I need it here in southern Montgomery County because we are still high and dry and toasty. We had like zero point 0.4 inches of rain out of the last week. That's it. For everybody else, I know Powell County, you guys, man, all my friends down in Poco, man, they got rain. They got quite a bit of rain. But here, no, we didn't. It missed us. Everything went around us. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Beryl and what's going on. Right now, we're high and dry, obviously, and tomorrow we're going to be high and dry. So that's going to keep our temperatures cranking. We've got Tropical Storm Beryl at the time this was published, which was this morning. It's actually, I think, a Category 1 hurricane now, and it's going to make landfall somewhere right around in here. Been a while since we've seen one hit Texas in that particular vicinity, but it's approaching that area, and we've got a tremendous amount of heat energy out in our west, and that energy is going to push Beryl off to the east. It's really unusual to see a tropical storm hitting Texas in this location and then affect our weather. That's a little unusual. In fact, if we dig back in the data, all the way back to the 1800s, there's only been maybe one or two storms ever that has ever affected our weather and hit Texas in this location, moving in that direction. It just doesn't happen. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's odd. Let's put it that way. But then again, there's a lot of odd things happening. Like, I know some of you, if you've been in my class, I talk a little bit about everywhere. But yeah, that's snow right there. Yep, that is actually some snow and mixed precipitation out in Colorado. So that's unusual for us to see that kind of stuff, even at these 12,000, 13,000 feet elevations, because it's late in the year to see that kind of stuff. But we're seeing some unusual things. Climate is not what it used to be. Our ocean temperatures are in the upper 80s, mid to upper 80s, depending on where you're at. That's extremely warm for this time of year. And we've got, this tropical storm or this hurricane that's moving in. So, yeah, we got some unusual things. It's unusual to see all this stuff. And I had a couple of people ask me what it looks like, hurricane wise for the next week or so. Well, to be honest, it's like all of a sudden it got shut off. I think for the next 2 weeks, there's literally almost no chance to see any kind of real tropical development. That's that's a bit of a surprise. But we've got some steering winds that are going in the wrong direction in the upper atmosphere. So that makes a little sense, but it's a little odd for this time of year. So Beryl is going to make landfall somewhere right around in this area here. Um, and don't take it lightly, folks. It is going to be rather devastating on the communities there. It's going to be a powerful hit because again, they're not used to it. It's not doesn't happen very often. So then, once it makes landfall, I wish I could draw on this and show you, but I can't. It's going to make landfall, and then it's going to do this. And I think I can show you that a little better by pulling up some of the models. So this is one of the European models, and let's see if I can zoom a little. Okay, I zoomed a little bit, but then everything moved. Okay. Okay. So Beryl's right here. And yeah, it's a hurricane according to this model. And this model ran about 2 hours ago, I think it is. So watch this hurricane. It'll be the really tight low, 994, 992. That's really low pressure. And then, it starts to weaken. So it's getting, the numbers getting higher. It's getting weaker. And look at all the moisture on Western Kentucky. Yeah, quite a bit is possible. So you can see it does throw some moisture at us. How much and where it's at, we don't know yet. We just got to wait and see. And it still hangs on as a pretty strong low. And the model lost its data there for a little bit and eventually kind of disappears. Okay, so let me go to another one. This is the GFS. You hear all the weather people talk about the GFS, the GFS, the GFS. It's pretty good for some things. And again, here's Beryl, really strong low, and watch as it moves inland. Again, that direction that it's going, we shouldn't see anything from it, but the atmospheric winds are just pushing it. And again, watch the track, literally right over us, or close, not necessarily over us, but right up in the Ohio River area. So again, moisture coming our way. And let me pull up one more here real quick. CFS model. And again, you see Beryl down in the Gulf, and it makes landfall and continues on right along the Ohio River and north, and again throws moisture back at us. You know, how much of that is going to be storms? How much of that is going to be just some general rain? Most of it general rain. And it's going to be fairly light. It's not a lot of stuff. But that is just really unusual. Most of the time, when a hurricane makes landfall in Texas, instead of going east, most of the time it goes toward the mountains and fades away. Or on some occasions, it goes on out toward the Pacific Ocean and fades away. The vast majority of the hurricanes that we get that have affected our weather in the last 300 or 400 years, and I remember all of them, yeah, they actually come in somewhere east of the Mississippi River. And if they come in east of the Mississippi River, that means somewhere in here, give or take a little bit. And then, yeah, they can get caught up in the jet stream and give us precipitation. But that just goes to tell you how different our environment is, how different things are working. And, we try to hit these forecasts and we try to give a heads up about some things. And, sometimes we're far, far off. I mean, I'm no different than anybody else. And unfortunately, the models sometimes just don't give us the good information we need. It's just wrong. And all we have to go on is what these computer models tell us. And there's quite a few of them, and they're growing. There's more and more each day, or each week or so. There's another one added to this list. And this isn't the only website that I use, and the same thing with other meteorologists as well. So, you got to just kind of stop and look at some of these things and make some judgment calls for yourself, and I know a lot of you depend on me to make those calls and I will do the best I can, as I always say, and I will try to give you a heads up and try to tell you what's going on as much as I can. I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate you watching my little videos, and I really appreciate you stopping by on my Facebook page and all that stuff. Folks, if you don't mind, when you're done watching this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel. And that's all that I ask. Just kind of help me get the logarithms from YouTube rolling. So just give it a thumbs up, and I appreciate it so much. You all have a wonderful evening, and always remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Thank you, and have a good night and a good day tomorrow.